Hello. I feel like every time I stream now, my setup is like slightly different. And I don't know how to fix that. Hi, Clavicus. I made a cute BRB screen, look. Yeah, BRB screen. I've had the sticker for a really long time. Like I've had the art for that for a really long time and I just never did anything with it. Like I made stickers out of it. It's right here. This sticker right there. I hadn't done anything else with it. So I was like, you know what? I should make that my BRB screen. And then I did. I did it. I did the thing. I still need to redo all of my commands though. Because my commands are still busted. Mega busted. But that's fine. Alright, palette is ready. Gotta get a paper towel. Here's Mr. Crab. I need to scoop myself in a little bit. Alright. Okay. I like the wash. I like how the wash dried on the shell. That's what I did the last time. Was I washed it, but now I'm gonna go back in with my oxide yellow and I'm going to I keep forgetting I got this vortex mixer. I'm gonna go in with the vortex mixer after I'm done with using that, and then I'm going to try to like dry brush the crab a little bit. I don't know if we're gonna actually dry brush it or if I'm just gonna highlight areas. I feel like highlighting areas is probably better than trying to dry brush it. Although it's very textured. You know what? Let's try it. I'm gonna use this little palette right here with a dry brush that I need to get out. Alright. Do I have a fluffier dry brush than that one? This one's pretty fluffy. Alright. Let's see how this works. How's everybody's week? Okay. I've inspired you to paint? Heck yeah. think I'm gonna still have to pick out some spots on this. I might actually have to go slightly lighter. I don't know how many folks are here yet, but I watched the Reaper live and they were showing off some like I don't know exactly what they are because I was in a meeting, so I wasn't actually like listening, but I was, you know, keeping my peepers open to watch. But they showed off these like gloss paints and they looked kind of like not necessarily washes. They kind of looked like really, really transparent inks. Does anybody know what those were? Ow, I just yanked my own hair. I need a more of a yellow. Hold on one second. You'll get those in your ReaperCon swag. Oh, really? I feel like they were called something gloss. They were just like different shades of some sort of glosses. And I was like, they're for like using on transparent minis or like clear minis to shade them. Not just shade them. Well, yeah, to like tint them. I wonder if they're anything like the ghost tints. Oh yeah, that's probably going to be much better. That's going to be more of the tone that I want, this yellow. This light yellow right there. Okay. Okie dokie. Glossy something, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. That is what I want. Yes. Look at that. Definition. Beautiful. God, I love dry brushing stuff. I feel like dry brushing is one of those things where it's like, it feels like you're cheating. Feels like cheating. But it's not. This dude is hard to hold. Mr. Crab. You're hard to hold, Mr. Crab. I'm going to go back in with this orange a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in with the yellow again. Mustard. Beautiful. The only bad thing about dry brushing is sometimes it can look a little bit powdery. Like right here, it looks a little bit powdery. You just have to be careful when you do it, is all. Crap battle. Okay. All right. Now we need to start highlighting up the rest of the body. I feel like I did that a little bit. I gotta go back and do it more. Because, like, some of the crab is darker than I want. And now I just have to be careful because I don't want to touch the shell, like, at all. Did y'all see my little goblin that I crocheted? Let me grab him. I actually made two. I made one with brown pants and one with gray pants. So I got two little goblins. I was so excited for these patterns to come out. It was like a 15 pack of patterns, and there's other things that I want to make as well. Oh, my phone's in my pocket. That's annoying. There's other things that I want to make, but I didn't have all of the colors for like any of the other things that I wanted to make. So I had to order myself some more yarn. Not that I don't have an entire, I don't know, an entire that, but I didn't have the colors that I wanted, so I had to get more. And I think it ships from like Norway or something, the yarn that is good, so I've got to wait for it. But that's fine. We will wait. We'll get it in. And then I will crochet probably a Cthulhu, a little derpy chibi Cthulhu, a little griffin, a little phoenix, were some of the other things that I want to make. So yeah. That's just a few of the pattern pack. It came with like 15. But the goblin was the one that I saw first, and I was like, I need to make this! And then when I looked to try to find the pattern, it hadn't released yet. And I was like, no! And then that was like last weekend. And then the person that I was following was like, it's releasing! Surprise! And I was like, oh my god. Perfect. Just in time. I wonder if Reaper would want any of them to give as some of those like random things that you can use your tickets for, that you can redeem your tickets for. I wonder if they would want a few of those. I wouldn't mind donating a few to them. I guess I could ask John. I'll message John. No idea if anybody would actually, you know, use their tickets for them, but I did have a few people say that they wanted one. I think that would be a cute thing to do. You think others would want them? Open image, a new tab. There we go. I wanted a picture of the crab. The claws, the crab claws. So there is some red on the actual, like, claw itself. I'm just gonna put a ton of paint on these. They don't have to be perfect. It's not like, that's the one thing that I like about painting creatures or like monsters or like anything not human, is technically it can be a bunch of different colors. And it can be, the color placement can be like random. But if you're painting a person, it's like, it's kind of like if the color placement is random, it doesn't look right. That's the thing with creatures. Color placement is not quite, you know, as predetermined. I think that's why I had such a good time painting that little octopus that one time when I painted that. And it turned out so well, and I was like, whoa. Sometimes when I'm streaming, I feel like I have trouble with topics to talk about, because I feel like I talk about the same stuff a lot. I don't know if talking is something that a lot of folks here need throughout the whole stream or not, but if you have specific things that you think I should talk about, you should let me know. Oh my god, what in the heck? I've never seen the emo do that before. That was crazy. I didn't even see who that was. Zundasik. Thank you for the follow. You just like hearing my voice? Well, if there are any specific topics you think I should talk about, let me know. Because then I can focus the conversation around something. Because I can talk forever if I, you know, have something to talk about. But sometimes I feel like I just run out of stuff to talk about. Fooker, hello! Yes, it has been a very long time. I am still alive, though. I'm still here. I'm glad to see you. I hope you have been well. don't need to really paint that much on the chest of this guy, but I do want to make it so that it's not completely black down there. Talk about your favorite game characters? My favorite game characters. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me see. I don't even know. That's a hard one. I think, I don't know. I haven't connected with specific characters much over the years. I think the one that sticks out to me the most, and this is going to be extremely obscure, and most people are probably going to have no idea the game or the character. But when I was younger, I played through Suikoden, the first one, on the PlayStation, not like the PS4, PS5 or anything, the PlayStation, original PlayStation. I played through that game so many times, and a recurring character in that series actually is somebody named Teddy, and he was one of my favorite game characters that I can remember. He was like a mage guy that like saved the main character. He like sacrificed himself for the main character. There was a few people that sacrificed themselves for the main character in that game series. But I really liked Teddy. I don't know why. I think I just thought he was like a good guy. And I named one of my cats after him actually. When I still lived at home. I was probably about 20, 21. Teddy has passed. I think in the last couple of years, actually. Because it's been a long time, because I'm old. But I couldn't, when I first moved out of the house, I couldn't have pets. Like, I lived in an apartment with 4 other people. A 3-bedroom apartment with 5 people living in it. So I couldn't have pets. So I couldn't bring Teddy. Initially. And then when I moved out, he actually was he was a bad boy. He just kind of would spray everywhere. And I lived in an apartment for 10 plus years. I could not have a cat living in an apartment with me that would spray everywhere. That's just asking for your deposit to not get refunded. He also didn't want to be inside. He wanted to be an outdoor cat. And absolutely no way living in, like, the middle of, like, West LA could you have an outside cat. He would have gotten hit by a car in, like, 2 seconds. So he could not come with me. But he was a good cat. He used to bite my face. Like, he would give you kisses. He would, like, literally, like, stick his face up to your face, onto your mouth, and, like, he wouldn't lick, but he would just, like, push his face against your face when you would say to give kisses. And then when he would get too excited about it, he would bite your lips. But regardless, he was a good boy. I didn't blame him for being excited to give kisses, especially when he hadn't seen me in a while. He also used to sleep on my chest. He was a good cat. He was a good cat. Female inspirations? I feel like that one's hard too. I mean, I grew up with games like Metroid, right? Powerful female characters, Tomb Raider. I feel like Tomb Raider was a little bit different, but there were some really cool female characters when I was younger too. I was super into JRPGs, like super grindy, repetitive games. I do not like those kinds of games anymore. I can't play those kinds of games anymore. It's like There's not enough hours in the day. But I used to love those kinds of games. Ow. Alright, let's see. I'm just re-highlighting this up again. Because I put a lot more paint. The dark colors all around. I still don't know if I'm gonna have anything for ReaperCon. I know it's like still a month away, but I feel like I'm such a slow painter that even struggling to figure out what I want to paint, it's like, I don't think there's gonna be enough time. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. And I don't know if I want to bring something like this. Because I feel like it's still not high enough quality. So I'm nervous. Because I don't want to, you know, I haven't painted in a long time. So it would be valid for me to get, like, not a silver, to get something worse. Just because I have not been keeping up with my craft. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What video game are you playing, Clavicus? Now I'm curious. Because I like video games. Video games? Fallout 76. I see. I've played like a little bit of Fallout 76. James always tries to get me to play like every video game that's ever existed. And he bought me Fallout 76 and I played it for a little while, but I'm kind of just like, meh. 5 hottest celebrities. I can't do that one. I'm not. Attractiveness is not something that I see a lot of the time. Top 5 best models? Oh man. Trying to just give me the tops of everything? can't do that either. I can't do that one either. Individual paints. I always, when I show people stuff that I've painted, I feel like it's going to be hard to know what it looks like unless I actually bring the picture up. I painted a, oh my god, what is the term for her even? I don't even know what the term for her is. My corgi knight, I guess, is one. Why do I feel like there's a reflection coming off and hitting me on the face? There was like a corgi warrior that I painted that I feel like is probably one of my top. That was one of my submissions at ReaperCon that actually didn't even judge that one. I was surprised. The one that I was talking about before was like she was like a genie. I don't know what the female genies are called. A djinn? I can't remember. But I painted her up like mermaidy almost. She had like green hair. Let me see if I can find it. I'll find it on my phone, that'll be easier. A djinn. Oh, it's gonna be so far. It's gonna be so far back. Oh, this one was probably one of my best paints too. This dog that went to one of James's old coworkers. This dog. What is that? Jinn. This one right here. I felt like she was really cute. She had like freckles. I painted like freckles on her. I just thought she was really good. I really liked the colors of her. I also really liked this one a lot. I felt like the eyes on this one were so good. And it's funny because I have none of these minis anymore. I used to give away like every freaking mini that I painted, so I hardly have any minis. And none of the ones that I thought I did a really good job on. I do have the corgi one. Let me find that one. A picture of that one. Do do do. This one. This guy right here. I felt like I did a really good job on that one too. And they didn't even judge it. Look at the back. Look at the staff. Look at the shading on the cloak. So good. I do have this one still. It's in this thing. It's in this thing in my shelf back there. I really liked this one too. Even though it's metallic, I felt like I did a really good job on the mouselings. I feel like I can actually paint mouselings pretty good. There's another set of mouselings that I did a long time ago. These guys right here. Oh, that is... You cannot see the the details of them, but like look at the mouseling there. And then these guys over here. Look at the detail on the sweater that I did on the bottom one. I drew all those little stars on there. That was a paint your poison or pick your poison. But yeah. Makes me sad because I only have like one of all of those still. I don't know if y'all are seeing Cora behind me, but she keeps looking for reflections on the ceiling. That's what she's doing right now. Can you just chill? She's like, no, I can't. I can't chill. I'm seeing shiny lights and I need to eat them. I need to eat the shiny lights. She is a goober. I think that's part of the reason why I like crocheting so much. Because it's easier. It's way less time. Like, I can make one of these guys in like 45 minutes. And then I have a cute little squishy thing that's done. It's more like dopamine. Because it's like, oh, I can do this in one sitting and complete it, and that's it. More instant gratification. I'm not even like a big fan of plushies. Like literally, I don't I don't like plushies very much. But I like crocheting. I like making the plushies. I don't really want to keep them for the most part. I just want them. I just want to make them. It's good to have a store. Make stuff and then get rid of it. Yeah, maybe I won't do the claws black. Maybe I will just keep them the same color. Make it easier for me. I think I'm going to do the same thing with the shell as I did, or the rest of the carapace as I did with the shell. Just like highlight it up really well. Give it a good wash. Oh, that was way too much of that color. Give it a good wash. And then maybe not necessarily dry brush it, but lighten it up again. Some pieces the dry brushing will work well, like all these little things that it has on its leggies. I went and walked the doggies, or the doggie, today to go pick James up, so these dogs should be quite tired. Can you stop licking? What, are you just licking the... She's literally just licking the... You can't see it. This, like, this thing on the floor right there, the green shelving, the drawer, she's just licking it. I could hear it. Dog's licking! I can't handle the sound. It's like one of those things where they just absently lick because they're sleepy and it's just like drives you crazy. I don't know if that anybody else is driven crazy by that sound, but I am absolutely driven crazy by that sound. It's like, why are you doing this? Please. Terrible sound. Your cats just drool. God, Luna used to lick herself so loud. It was like, what are you even doing? I think it was because of her nose, because her nose was so weird. But she would lick herself, and it didn't matter where you were in the house, you could hear it. If you were right next to her, it was like she was right in your ear. God, that cat was crazy. I was like, you're trying to drive me insane. Cat. Cat? How could you do this? Hello, Frawley. Good evening. How are you doing on this fine Friday evening? I need to let that dry a little bit more right there. I can't wait to start getting some more of the color on this thing. I think it's gonna pop like crazy as soon as I start and get all the start getting, oh my god, words. As soon as I start getting a bunch of the random colors that I want on all the little sea creatures, whatever, the coral and all the little thingies on there. It's gonna look really cool. I need this guy to dry. Dry. Wondering why you didn't start in the middle? In the middle of what? Here? I wanted to get the crab shell and all the rest of the like carapace parts done first, because I knew that I was going to use washes on this part, and I didn't want the washes to bleed into any of the other stuff as I paint it. Because I probably won't use washes on these bits. I'll probably just use color. So that's why I didn't start with the corals. I'm worried about the corals. Oh. I'm gonna do a similar thing with the claws and everything else like that. Like I want to bring the color up on it, and then I want to use a wash to bring it back down. It's too much. Yeah, that's probably okay. I don't know if y'all can hear the music that I'm listening to, but it's making me want to play Beat Saber. I'm with you, but I'm at the way in my own painting. Why not start with the fun part? Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's funny because normally I would do that with like humans. So if I'm painting a person, I'll usually try to get like the face painted first and the eyes specifically, because once a mini has its eyes painted, it's like it looks more alive. I don't know. This one I just went with it this way. I don't have a good answer. It's a club. I don't usually have a lot of music on my stream, so I wanted to start listening to actual music instead of just lo-fi. And I know that, you know, Streamlabs OBS added the thing where you can make it so that when it's live, the music comes through, but on the recording, there's no music. I also had to tinker with my microphone settings though, because I didn't want to wear headphones and I wanted to use like my open mic. So I had to figure out how to make it so that the microphone that I'm using to speak doesn't also hear the music. So it's on kind of low on my side. But yeah, that's okay. Did you just burp? You need more Igor? Igor. I am not sure what that one means, Master Silverhand. Output noise can be cancelled. Oh, like in sound settings? I am not a technical person to know how to do any of that stuff. That's the only problem. I do have like a noise gate. If that's what you mean. Oh, it's a band. Oh my god. I read it's a band and literally did not take in the words. It's a band. Anything coming from a computer can be canceled. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's like, I forget exactly what it's called, but there's like different channels you can ignore the sound coming out from, which is pretty neat. It didn't used to have that. I know that was, you know, it's been in existence for a while. I just have not been streaming that much. I was good at that at some point. I'm sure you are way better at it than I am. Everyone's always like, can you give me advice for streaming? And I'm like, I wish. Because I don't even know what I'm doing realistically. Like, I could try, but I ain't the best person for that. I'm just like, just have fun with it. Don't try to overcomplicate it. That's it. That's my advice. Have fun. Don't overcomplicate it. Just sit down and do what you want to do. And let that be that. Like this weekend, I might not even paint. I might crochet some more little goblins on stream instead. Cause I want to make an army of these guys. Cause they're so freaking cute. And maybe I'll do like red goblins. I don't know. Are goblins other colors than green? I think there's yellow goblins, right? Do I have like a mustard yellow? I do. Well, kind of. But anyway, I might just make an army of goblins, because why not? I'm drinking tea. I've been trying to watch what I eat again a little bit more. Because even though I'm still doing keto, I've been eating way too much. So I'm not losing weight. And I definitely would like to lose more weight again. Because this last year has been rough. And I need to get healthier. Ugh, it's too much. Okay, that's fine. Working on a jewelry box. That's cool. That's a cool project. What are you making out of? I can't even speak. Why do I even try? What material are you making it out of? Is it like wood? Or is it acrylic? Or what is it being crafted out of? Ah! Jesus. It's wood. You want me to show off a pup? I think Appa is downstairs. But I can show this one off. Let me go get... I don't have a treat container in here anymore. So hold on one second. And I'll go get a treat container. Un momento. Okay. Oh, I can share my new BRB screen while I go and do that. So BRB, give me 2 seconds. Okay. There's my legs. Ignore those. You ready? You sit up. Spin. There's a Koromora. Ah! I'm stuck. I got stuck. There you go. I showed off a pup. Hi, hi. Super Tengentopa. Oh my gosh, that is a long name. Hello, Super Tengentopa. It's wood. I had to fix a lot of it. It wasn't new. Oh, okay. Well, that's still really cool. Like, that's a cool thing. I'm doing all right. It's Friday. I'm painting a crab. You know, just the huge. Oh my gosh, my wet palette is drying out so quick. It was pretty warm again today here. How are you doing? Did you do anything fun this week? Anything interesting? Ty, are you gonna submit anything to ReaperCon this year? We are all here for the club music and my crabs. I had lacquer that didn't want to dry. Oh, really? I about dehydrated. That's not good. Don't dehydrate. Keep that hydration up. Are you actually going to submit something? What are you going to submit? I thought you hadn't paid in anything yet this year. I'm going to go super flat. Humidity is high. Don't know yet, haven't painted anything. You gotta get some paint on some stuff. You gotta actually paint something if you're gonna submit. It ain't gonna paint itself. You didn't see my message on Discord, but did you get the things that you wanted? The Halloween things that you wanted? I'll submit something even if it's just primed. And you will get a certificate. But that's okay. I was saying how this weekend I might just make a ton of goblins, and I'll see if John wants me to donate any to the raffle that they used like tickets for. Crab is going bonkers. Yeah, he's a crazy crab. I did, and more. The FOMO was real. What else did you get? You didn't tell me. So, for those of you that are unaware, Home Depot does a drop of Halloween stuff every year, and they have some crazy Halloween directions. Some of the layers startled you. They've got crazy Halloween decorations at Home Depot, right? So like they're the ones that have like the 12-foot tall skeleton and, you know, those kind of things. And Ty, No Time for Bull, he every year does some crazy decorating of his front yard for Halloween, and he raises money for, I think it's St. Jude's, right? As well. But they just dropped their decorations for this year a couple days ago. I bought a $600 thing because I wasn't sure if I wanted it, and it was online only. Oh, what was that one? I saw somebody post a TikTok earlier of there was like a big wooden sign that was for like, it said like welcome to Salem or something like that, and it was like a big wooden signpost, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, like I want that. That's America's. Yeah, yeah. It's in I'm in Washington. He's in Texas though. It was the hearse and matching pony. Oh. So like I had bought the 12-foot skeleton, right? And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm going to get super into the Halloween and decorating and stuff." And then I did not. I did not get super into it like I thought I was going to. Um I did end up buying a thing from Costco. It was a headless horseman, like animatronic headless horseman that was freaking giant. And then it didn't actually work. And Costco has like a crazy refund policy, so I could probably actually still bring it back and get a refund on it, even though it's been 2 years. I found a 480 Gundam kit. Ooh. I personally have not built Gundams myself, but my husband does, and I know like Ty does as well. No Time for Bull does as well. Is that like a super grade or like a ultra grade? I know there's different like grades. I am a pagan and from Sweden. Hey, Russian Blue. But you didn't know that. I feel like I've been informed of that before. Yeah. Gundams are for nerds. It's true. Perfect grade. That's why husbando is banned. What? Now, all of my hobbies are for nerds technically. All the hobbies I do, I feel like are either for older people or are very nerdy. Oh, dang it. I'm almost 40. Nice! I'm also almost 40. I don't feel like I'm almost 40, though. I don't know how, but I feel like I'm 15 and I'm like 60 at the same time. I don't know how that works, but it does. I'm almost 26. You're a youngin'. You're a wee babe. I don't even remember what I was doing when I was 26. No, that's not true. I remember exactly what I was doing. I had just gotten my first like actual big girl job. Big girl. Am I getting message? Oh, that must have been. Oh, it is. It's on here. All right, so this is what our guy got. So, this guy 5.5 foot. That's kind of scary. 5.5 foot LED skeleton pony. Okay. Okay. 5 foot animated LED hearse. Oh my god. That's actually it looks kind of goofy in this picture right here, but in this picture, that looks pretty cool. And then this is the tree. The spooky tree. Get out of here. No, go away. Go away. Thank you. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. The pony goes with hers. Okay, that makes sense. Grandma maxing. Yes, it's true. I am grandma maxing. I will be 40 in 3 years ago. When I was 26, I met Sarah, had recently moved to Cincy, and wrote that infamous algorithm. Do I have any Halloween mugs? I did have like an owl, like a Halloween owl mug. Actually, I had 2 of them. My mom got them for me 1 year, but both of them eventually, one of them actually like cracked in half. Like I used it so many times that in the dishwasher, I think the dishwasher was too hot for it or something, and it literally split in half. And the other one, the handle broke. So both of them are gone. Do I have any other Halloween mugs? No, I think it was just those 2. I don't have a ton of like coffee mugs or things of that nature. Ah, can't pick this up. Oh yeah, my DM made this for me. He made it because it's Monster and she's on a pocket, so she's a pocket monster. I think there's only 2 of these shirts that exist, and I have one and then James has the other one. But yeah, my DM made these for me. It's no time for Bull. He's here right now. He's the one that's linking to me all the Halloween merch stuff that he bought. So Timothy, I actually don't know if they're gonna continue to sell Holly Monster merch at ReaperCon. Because last year it didn't really sell because it was like the same stuff as the previous years. Because I mean, to be totally honest, I don't have a ton of like new stuff with her on it, you know? I did reach out to my artist today and I asked him if he could draw me some more emotes. But I don't know if there's going to be any other stuff there. Like last year for ReaperCon, they put all the Holly Monster stuff in the like discount bin because nobody was buying it anymore. So it's possible that, you know, there's not that stuff doesn't exist anymore at ReaperCon. At least not in the Southpaw Crafts booth. I think maybe, oh, I don't have my, all my link tree is broken. I was gonna say you might be able to buy one online, but the link tree is all broken. Or not the link tree, oh my god, my brain. My commands are all broken. My brain is broken too, so that's part of the problem. I can try to find the link if you actually do want a Holly Monster shirt. Because I think they probably still sell them on their website. I don't imagine they would take them away because it's usually like they sell stuff by the orders that they get anyway. But I'm not sure. I wonder if my Linktree actually has it. I don't think it does, though. If anyone wants to go to the Southpaw Crafts website and see if you can find the shirt, the link for the shirt, I used to have it, but all of my commands broke. So I do not have them anymore, unfortunately. I'm holding out for the 3-piece monster print leisure suit. Leisure suit monster. Coming up. I don't even know what I'm doing with this crab anymore. I feel like I'm just putting paint on it. I don't know what it's gonna look like. Fear onesie. You know what? That probably actually wouldn't be too difficult to make. Or I hear you back there licking your chops. She's just licking her chops back there. Why are you licking your chops? Gosh, stop. There we go. She's looking at the ceiling. Why did it? Oh, it moved. That's why. Doesn't want to stay. She's just staring at the ceiling. She's looking for bright shiny lights. She sees the reflections and she's like, "I will eat them. I will eat them all." She's crazy. She's a crazy dog. She really doesn't like the shiny lights. She's like, if she sees shiny lights, she's like, "I will murder them." She needs her own mini. There was a mini that I painted that was from Capsule Chibi that I painted as her. Let me go grab it. Hold on. This one right here. The one with holding the knife. I painted it after her. I painted it her colors. This one's Cora, the danger dog. Yeah, I have 0 commands, Timothy. And then this one is Appa. This is King Appa, and this is her his assassin, Cora. Yeah, I painted those ones a long time ago. Man, I might just pause painting this and start painting the coral pieces, because I feel like I'm getting frustrated trying to paint this guy. Maybe I'll just throw the wash on it real quick. I don't know what color wash I should do. What color wash should I do on it? I think maybe purple and red. The highlight color makes it really look like crap I've eaten. I'm gonna do... Actually, do I even have a red wash? I don't think I have red. That's green. What's this? No, that's Fugan orange. Just got home from Star Wars campaign. Nice. I have a pink. Crimson? Maybe I'll mix this crimson with a little bit of orange and then put a little bit of purple. Maybe that'll do what I'm trying to do here. And then, you know what? I will probably end up dry brushing it too. Ooh, can't get this open. All right, there we go. Do 4 drops of that. I'll do 2 drops of this orange. And then I'm gonna do Mrs. made a good looking crab in her sketchbook. Ooh, that's fun. I'm gonna do 1 drop of Drucci Violet. Now we have a very interesting color combination here. Let's see what it looks like. See what it looks like. What it looks like in here. It kind of looks like the colors of the crab. Oh, you can't see that. You cannot see the color variation there. This is what it looks like. Yeah, I think that is the color that I would like. Let's see what it does. I'm gonna pick this up. Pretty good. I might have to make more, actually. I'm definitely gonna have to make more. It's like almost gone. Oh no! I need to do this quick. Do it quick, do it quick. Eight. Four. Two. Math! Math! Yeah, okay, it's the same color. I did it! I know how to do math. Quick maths. I know this looks like it's covering everything. That's okay. It's supposed to. Blendy, blendy. Crab battle. Sorry, I can't read chat at the current moment. I want to make sure I get all this wash on. And you kind of have to do it quick. Especially when it starts to dry super fast. I will get back to you, I promise. I don't want it to coffee stain. No coffee staining, Mr. Crab. Almost done. Okay, I think I got him. Okay, I think we got him. We got him. I painted an artisan guild crab with an overwriter a few days ago. I just remembered that. I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, feel free. Share up. I posted my big old crab. Big old crab in the monster sub only channel. Alright, hold on. Let me open it. Let me open it up. Ooh. Hold on. Look at that. Look at this crab. That's a good looking crab. I like this. What did you use for the water there? I feel like every time I try to use water effects, they always come out terribly. That is a good looking crab though. Tell secrets. Don't tell secrets about me. I did maths. It's a lot of adding. It's only adding, yes. I mean, hey, you know, sometimes math is hard, okay? Water is just a cheap liquid effect I got from a Hobby Lobby sale bin. Okay. Okay. Well, that's fine. I'm just curious because like I had the like Vallejo water effects stuff. I didn't like it. Every time I would use it, it would go and it would dry, and then as soon as it would dry, it like wouldn't look like water anymore. Like I felt like it was supposed to stay kind of looking glossy and stuff, but it would like dry to such a thin layer that it was just like not not good anymore. I feel like I may have put a little bit too much wash on this crab. He's kind of one color now again. But that's okay. We're going to wait for him to fully dry, and then I'm going to dry brush him. Anyway, so who cares? Let's start putting some white on a lot of these barnacles. Barnacles. I actually need to grab a white. Hold on. White. Barnacles. Whee! I'm gonna use Caron Stone. This is a Pathfinder paint. I'm gonna have to shake it a little bit longer. The Pathfinder paints from Reaper seem to have a little bit more liquidity to them, so they need to be shaken more. This stuff requires a form. Usually masking tape is good enough. Then you apply it in 1/8 inch layers and let it dry between layers. Crab base is only one layer. Okay, fair enough. This one has a little bit of a blue base. Don't you love it when your paint gives you paint strings? That's always fun. Paint stringies. Less viscose. I'm not sure. I think it's my thought about the Pathfinder paints is that they have more of a like oily, not oil. Oh god, I forget what it's called. It's been so long since I've like thought about paint. It has a different whatever the thing is, it's not the pigment, it's the other medium. It's a different kind of medium, mixing medium than their regular MSP paints. The Pathfinder ones are different. They're always a little bit harder to shake up for whatever reason. Maybe it's like an oilier medium or something. And they also are more transparent than the regular MSP paints. Okay, it is a gel base. Okay, yeah, gel base. Okay, I was right. So it's similar to like the Scale 75 paints, I think. But I think the Scale 75 paints are more pigmented. Like they actually have more pigment than the MSP ones. Yes, exactly. I remembered, like, I knew that, but I forgot because it's been a very long time since I've thought about it. And I think I'm legitimately like early onset memory loss. I feel like my brain is like forgetting so many things lately. Scale 75 splits, but you can get it back together. Yeah, I like the Pathfinder sets. Mine usually stay in their case. I grab them as travel paints. I see. Well, as you know, all my paint is on my walls, so I cannot take them traveling. No way, Jose. I just mooch off of people at ReaperCon when I go there if I want to paint. People are usually pretty open to sharing paint. I think last year I brought like a few paints that I knew I was going to need, like a few specific colors, because I was painting the chibi, the capsule chibi Holly Monster mini, and I had already started, so I was like, I know I need this paint and this paint and this paint, but all the other colors, like all the extra bits and bobs that I did on her after the fact, were like, I think probably Ty's paint or something. My main rack has all of my MSP, then my bones paints are in the 3 racks on my table. No room for Pathfinder. Yeah, you can see them actually from here. You can see my shelving unit right there. That's one of them. The other one's over here. There's no Reaper on that shelf though. But all that whole side is all Reaper stuff. When am I getting bifocals and wearing muumuus? Man, I'd wear muumuus now, honestly. I don't need bifocals quite yet, but if I had a muumuu, I would wear a muumuu already. Not right now though, because it's too hot. I'd rather just wear shorts. Barnacle. Barnacles there. Oh, some barnacles on this side. Oh, there's lots of barnacles on this side. Barnacles. I'm gonna have to pin wash these barnacles. Where are the ankles? I left the door unlocked. What? Oh, because Trashorama got in? Hey, Trash. This stream is unfortunately not sponsored by Red Lobster. Man, I would destroy a lobster right now. I would absolutely just destroy it. Joe's Crab Shack? Oh my god. I haven't thought about a Joe's Crab Shack in forever. The place where I used to work was like pretty close to a Joe's Crab Shack. I don't think I ever went there. I never ate at Joe's Crab Shack. I don't go out to eat very often. Red Lobster can't afford to sponsor anything right now, that's true. I'm definitely gonna have to pin wash this stuff. I might have to pin wash all the rest of this. All this coral. Be very careful. I'm already not being very careful. It's okay. I can go in with I'm gonna have to go in with a liner anyway. I'll do it after I do the washes to fix all that stuff up. Red Lobster is for people too poor to realize the fish is frozen and microwaved, and for people too tired to care, craving some of their biscuits and pizza. I didn't. They have pizza? Red Lobster serves pizza? I think I've only been there once. Yeah, you're offending the people that like Red Lobster, bruh. How could you? So rude. I've only been there once for like Mother's Day. I can't even tell you how many years ago. I don't really remember the biscuits too much. I feel like they're like cheddar biscuits, right? I feel like I've probably had them when I went, because this was a long time ago. But I cannot remember for the life of me. I think they did, but now they closed here and just have copycat recipes. I am going to ReaperCon, yes. Yes, yes. I am. I will be there. I will be there. I don't know if I'll be submitting anything, because my painting, this is like one of the first things I've painted so far this year. So I'm a little behind, but I will be attending regardless. I think I'm only taking like four classes. It's 4 or 5. And I think one thing that I'm doing, it's not a class, it's the Kana, I forget what the name of her miniature line is, but Kana Mini's the one that, the person that does the like cats, adventure cats, maybe that's what it's called, adventure cats. I'm gonna be doing a one-shot with her. You may want to catch it next year, but I talked to the paint department to make a crap load of OOP paints for Discord. We ended up as a collective ordering like 122 bottles of paint. Of what? What's OOP paints for Discord? I don't know what you're talking about. Trashorama, what are you talking about? Out of print. Oh, OOP. I was like, what is an OOP? I don't even know if I have like any. I only recently got into Reaper, like comparatively to a whole bunch of other folks. And I say comparatively, like I've only been painting for like 6 years. I don't know if any of the paints that I even have would have been out of print. Liners haven't been made in years? Really? Like brown liner? Oh, some liners. Brown liner is the one that I use like the absolute most all the time. Ow. There are some super rare runs. Oh, I did not. I had no idea. I have so many Reaper paints. I probably have like multiple hundreds of Reaper paints at this point. I think I counted one time and I had like over 600 paints or something. Like individual bottles of paint. Those are not all Reaper. I definitely have many other paints. But I bought a ton of red liner when they killed it. I think I have a red liner. Hello, Shiny Mew. Graz ordered a ton. Has he done? Oh my god. Graz literally last year at ReaperCon brought like a giant tub of paint to get rid of, to give to people. But of course he did. I'm not surprised. That's funny. I love that guy. I'm gonna make him I'm gonna crochet him a Yeti. I have the pattern, I just need to actually sit down and paint it, or paint it, crochet it. I crocheted a little one, but I want to make him a bigger one. It looks like Grabgot and Skarner had a child. Crabgot. Yes, kind of, actually. Hi, Larry. Grab battle! It's true. I don't know what this song is, but that's okay. We're just listening to some interesting music this time. I'm gonna skip this song. I don't know what this song is. Boop. Graz, Yeti champion. He is an unofficial mini in Bone 6. I know! I know! I was showing these off earlier, but I'm gonna make a bunch of little goblins. And I'm gonna reach out to John and see if he would want to use some of these as like the giveaway prizes or like the ticket prizes for ReaperCon this year. Tenyo X, thank you for the follow. Goblins, that's Grogu. No, it's a goblin. It's a goblin. I could see how it looks like Grogu though, for sure. I will eventually crochet your dragon. That will happen eventually. I got stuck in one part many months ago, and the tutorial videos were all in Russian. So I could not understand what she was saying, and the translation did not help. But it will eventually get crocheted. A life-size dragon. How to crochet a dragon movie win. Wow. Wow. How to Train Your Dragon was like my favorite movie for a really long time. I loved it. No, I don't think I need somebody that natively speaks Russian. I think I just did something wrong earlier in the pattern. And then when I was trying to continue with one of the rounds, I was on like round 30 or something. I don't remember. But when I was trying to get through to one of the other rounds, it wasn't lining up and I couldn't figure out why. And I think it's because, again, I messed something up like way earlier in the pattern. But it's okay. I will get it crocheted eventually. It's just a very advanced pattern for my crocheting skills. I'm down with learning Russian. Wow. Step 1, learn Russian. Step 2, crochet dragon. It's not that hard once you learn the Cyrillic alphabet. Yeah. I've been to Russia, which I don't think a lot of folks will be able to visit Russia ever again. So I'm very grateful that I was able to go when I did. And the only word that I remember is spasiba, which means thank you. The only thing I remember. I had to go there to train a bunch of player support agents many years ago, probably like 7 or 8 years ago. That was a fun trip. We need so many layers of this paint to get these to not be you know, to not see the black underneath. Am I listening to like a freaking Zelda remix? I am. The Legend of Zelda Club Mix. Okay, well, I'm okay. I'm okay with this. I was like, I was listening to freaking like dance music, and then all of a sudden, I just hear the Legend of Zelda song. Come on. Does anybody that loves really old school video games see that they're making a Zelda game where you actually play as Zelda? I'm pretty excited for that. I think you'll play as Link for like a very short period of time, and then you'll start playing as Zelda. I'm super excited for that. James is playing through Link's Awakening, the remake, on his Switch right now. I played through it when it first came out a long time ago. I haven't played a Zelda game since Zelda 2. Oh my gosh. That was Nintendo, right? Or, yeah. Yeah, Nintendo. NES. I'm gonna have to get a whole bunch of colors to do all these corals. Corals! We turned the crab back to essentially one color again from doing the washes. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that, especially in spots like this. The wash was way too much in some spots and not enough in others, it looks like. It's okay, nobody's gonna see the bottom of this crab's claw. Someone made the old Wizardry game. Haven't gotten to it yet, but you can get it on Xbox. I have not seen that one. It looks like most of this is dry now. I might just go in and dry brush the heck out of it now. Oh my gosh, I hear a baby boy coming in here. Hello, baby boy. Hi. Hello. My papa. He had a very long day today, so I'm surprised he's even awake right now. He's gonna come lay under my feet, of course. It's okay, Core came back in too. It was the first game where you could kill the merchants and they didn't come back. Oh. Yeah, he's right here. It's under my legs. There he is. This boy. Yes, they're both in here now. I unfortunately do not have two dog cams though. I only have one. I could probably have two. I don't know how many webcams my computer can realistically handle though. Because we've got this camera, which is a pretty strong one, and then on my face camera, and then the dog camera. Oh, it's still wet in that spot right there. Nope, that's still wet right there too. Still pretty wet in the crevices underneath his neck. You can see it. I just have to be careful where I put the paint. Can't pick up too much. I can probably do these back claws though. These back claws are pretty dry, I think. I do feel like dry brushing this whole thing is cheating a little bit, but at the same time, I don't care. Who am I competing against? But myself! You know what I mean? Ow. What the heck? Okay, something's not dry right there. I gotta wait. I'm so impatient. I don't wanna wait for my paint to be dry. I just wanna paint it all immediately. Barnacles. I'm gonna have to wait for those to dry before I put wash on it too. That's gonna drive me crazy. I do have a blow dryer. I guess I could blow dry it at this point. Oh, Appa's leaving. Okay, well, he wanted to hang out with me for, oh, there goes the camera. for 2 seconds before he got sick of me. Ah! Cora's still back there, but she always sits so far away. Alright, I am going to blow dry this really quick, so I'm going to mute the mic. Okay. I think he's dry. Crabzilla. Crabzilla. I haven't had this much paint on my hand in so long. Man, some of the wash stained a little too much. That's okay. We can fix it. That's good. I'm going to also probably bring up the color pretty high so it doesn't look too close to the shell. Or maybe if I bring it up any higher it will look too close to the shell. I don't know yet. Kind of wanted it to be lighter. Maybe if I just go in without yellow. Let's try this. Let's see what happens. Oh, geez Louise. Okay, well. Now! take any of that off? Nope, because it's dry brushed. Alright. I did not get enough of that paint off. Okay. Hopefully that helps. No one saw that. No one saw that, right? No, Pepperidge Farm. You need to stop remembering. That's a little bit better. Need to do it so lightly. That's what's looking good. I recently started to collect board games and got one with minis, and now I want to try painting them. Yes, you should. Absolutely. What I'm doing right now is a really good technique to learn. To really take things from, you know, kind of a one dimension into multiple dimensions of color. It's called dry brushing. Don't know how familiar you are with painting or anything, but essentially you get a really fluffy brush like this. This is a Wet n Wild fluffy eyeshadow brush from the Dollar Tree. Literally $1.25. And what you do is you get paint on the brush and you wipe most of it off. Like as much as you can wipe off is how much you wipe off. That's not blood. But look at my hand. I've been dry brushing paint off of my hand this whole time. And then you just lightly run the brush over the mini with a lighter color, and it does the effect that you're seeing. So see, there's paint here on this brush. I'm gonna try to wipe most of it off until you can't really see it anymore, and then I like to do it on my hand, see, because right there it just came off more. You don't want to get too much paint on your mini. But then you'll see it on the tops of the ridges here. I'm going to do it lightly. You see there's still too much on my brush. I have to do it really, really lightly. I'm barely touching the brush to this miniature. And it kind of just brings up all of the highlights, all the high spots. Which is really nice. Sorry, that was my dog. I don't know if you heard that. She likes to bark at people. But yeah, that's why I like dry brushing. Literally brings out so much dimension into the mini. Which board game did you get, by the way? I do know that some board games out there, the minis are not the best quality, so they can be hard to paint. But some of them are really good, so it's not necessarily a problem always. It's really amazing how much texture and depth you could paint. I have been painting minis for 6 years, maybe? But when I say 6 years, it's really probably only more like 3 or 4 years, because I've taken so many breaks from painting and from streaming. Like, this is probably the first thing I've painted this year. But all of this is literally just from dry brushing. This is why I love dry brushing. Because it is such a useful skill to have. I probably wouldn't dry brush if I was doing like competition pieces. But this is not a competition piece. This is just for funsies. Ah. Mice and Mystics. I want to look it up. Yeah, this one is realistically 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. This is like 4 colors. And then this is also like 4 colors, not the same colors. 3 of the colors are the same, but I added yellow into this, which you can, I think, tell a little bit. But I didn't add any of the yellow into this. So I used this kind of muted brick red here. I used this pumpkin orange, and then oxide yellow and golden yellow. Those are the colors that are on this shell. And then remove this one and add in this one. Actually, remove that one too. It's really just these 3 for this. Plus a wash, but you don't necessarily need a wash to get what I just did. Have you tried Turbo Dork? I have tried. I have a lot of Turbo Dork paints. The only thing with Turbo Dork is they are much better through an airbrush. And I have an airbrush. I don't use an airbrush though, so I only paint on my paints. There are a few that I really, really like though. Which one was the one that was really cool? Let me see if I can find it. I think this was the one that I liked the most. This one called Feywilds. It's a teal that shifts into a pink. And then I really like this one too. It's called Rainbow Roll. And the reason why I like it is because it's like a rainbow glitter. It's really pretty. You can't really see it on the screen, but I like these two a lot. Do, 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 do. Yeah. I have this is a turbo dork thing as well. This insert. This is an insert for that fits perfectly into the exemplar palette. And it's like a silicone, really flexible thing, so like you can just get the paint out of it really easily. Obviously it's not a paint, but it's like it's an extra from them. I thought that it was very smart for them to make this silicone palette that literally fits, like no joke. Here's my exemplar wet palette. It fits perfectly right into the exemplar wet palette. Right there. It's like perfect fit. They sent me these mixing sticks too. I haven't really used them, but they're in there. They fit perfectly as well. Okay. See, Krabby is looking much crabbier now. I feel like I need to do a little bit more brushing on that side. Dry brushing. Sorry, I heard a weird sound. Yes. That's one shell of a paint job. You funny. Cheese. Do you have a spray prime? Do you, a lot of minis you should prime, for sure. I don't spray prime myself. I use a paint-on primer. I use this one, the Vallejo Surface Primer in black. But realistically, you can use whatever surface primer you want. That one for me has just done really well. One thing that you should do, that I never do because I am a massive hypocrite, but you should wash your minis. So you should take warm soapy water, not hot, and a toothbrush, and you should dunk your minis in the warm soapy water and use the toothbrush, and just make sure that you give them a good wash, because depending on the types of minis they are, I'm not sure what types of minis are in that specific game, but they have something, they can have something called mold release on them, and if they have mold release on them, paint might not stick to them very well. To counteract that, you use warm soapy water to like get the mold release off. So I would suggest you always wash your minis, especially if you're running into an issue where the paint that you're using or the primer that you're using seems like hydrophobic, which means like it pulls up on the mini and it doesn't actually like stick to it properly. That just means you need to wash your minis better. That happened with this guy. The way that I got around that was to use a liner, which is a different kind of paint. But if you're wanting to keep your purchasing of, materials at a minimum, just wash them and they should be fine. Have you heard about Fight Crab, a video game with crabs? No, I haven't. Spray primers are good though, so like I've used the Army Painter ones, the Army Painter spray primers. The only thing that you have to consider when you're using like a spray can primer is the humidity and the temperature of the area that you're in. So I don't know where you live, Tenyo, but you should be at like mid humidity, like 50% humidity ish, and the temperature should be in like the 70s. Because if it's too cold, the primer isn't going to prime properly, and if it's too hot, it's going to dry before the primer reaches the miniature, and it's going to be splattery. It's going to be not good. So Krylon Auto Primer also usually works fine on minis too. Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of different ones out there that you could potentially use. I've had decent luck with the Army Painter ones. I wouldn't suggest Army Painter paints though. Also, I don't know what kind of paint you're planning on using, but I wouldn't suggest going to just like a general craft store and getting like the apple barrel paints or like the really big bottles of paint that you can get for like $1 each. Those are not meant for miniatures, and they're way too thick. They won't look very good. I honestly, you can see in my background here, that is all paint. This whole rack goes from the floor to the ceiling, and it's all filled with paints. I have another one on this side, which you can't see. Actually, maybe I can turn it. There's right there too. That is also all paint from a bunch of different brands. So you can see I have a lot of paint. I personally prefer paints from this brand. It's Reaper. However, there's a lot of choices out there. A lot of folks, what's accessible to them is like Citadel paints, which look like this. Where are all my Citadel paints? Wait, where are they? Oh, I repotted them. Okay, well, I forgot I repotted mine. This is the pot that they normally come in, but not the contrast paints. I repotted all of my Citadel paints into these smaller bottles. But this will work as well, if it is what is accessible to you. Vallejo Model Color is another one that's accessible in a lot of places. I don't know where you live. Do you live in the United States, Tenyo, or do you live somewhere else? I was like, where are all my Citadel paints? I know I have like 20. But it's because I repotted all of them, because the pots are giant. You're in the US? Okay, well then, if you go to like a local hobby store, you can probably find Vallejo, you can probably find Citadel. I'm sure there's others as well. And by hobby store, I mean like game store, like video game store, or I don't know what they're actually called. Just like a board game store. Board game stores usually will sell all that stuff too. So I would get your basic colors and black and white for sure. And then whatever colors you want to paint the things that you're painting. But black and white are good for beginners because you can basically take any color. And if you want it to be darker, it's like, oh, this orange. If you want it to be darker, you could put a tiny little bit of black and make it slightly darker. If you want to make it lighter, tiny little bit of white, make it lighter. I would personally suggest, if I want to make this orange darker, to add something like this, or if I want to make this orange lighter, to add something like this. But color theory is its own entire beast. That's why I have so many paints, because I would rather just take a look and grab a color that I want to paint the mini instead of trying to like mix it myself. So that's why I have multiple walls of paint. Hello, Celtic Boar. Brushes are another thing to take into consideration. You don't necessarily need really expensive brushes when you first are starting. because they might not help. If you spend $20 on a single brush and you accidentally destroy it, that might feel a little bit bad. So there are like some brushes at the board game stores too, and the ones there should be just fine. I've watched so many color theory videos and still struggle with mixing paint. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it just takes time and practice, right? Like, once you get like the basics down, it gets a lot easier. So like if you have your, red, yellow, and blue, realistically you can make any color from those three, and then white and black. But again, for me, I just like to have all of the paint and then just pick whatever color I want. Some colors are also really hard to make look good. So depending on how, how detailed you want to go, you could just paint something one color, right? Like for example, these guys, this hat on the bottom, at least, it's just one color. Like, it doesn't have to be highlighted. I highlighted it on the top. You can kind of see it's like darker blue and then it goes into a lighter blue. But you don't have to do that, right? Especially as a beginner. A color wheel is super helpful to have at your desk. Yeah, exactly. I have one right here. If I can lift it. My fingernails don't want me to lift it. I have this one right here. Color wheel. But yeah, so like this purple, I highlighted it up with pink. So it's really dark purple, and then I used a tiny little bit of pink to highlight the color up to make it look like it has a little bit more dimension. The green, I think I highlighted it up with just like a lighter green. The bags, like, that's 3 different colors on there. Yeah, but you don't have to do that, especially as a beginner. You can just paint something one color and then not highlight it. Like, it's not a hard requirement. Right now I'm using a 50 pack of brushes from Amazon that cost me $12. Exactly. I have some like that. Like these guys. I'm not actively using them, but I have a lot of them. Ow! That one just literally stabbed me. Ow! Ow! It like actually stabbed into my finger. I wonder if you can see that tiny little speck of blood right there. Right there. It stabbed into my finger. How are you that sharp? This brush is like sharp enough to stab me. Look at that. Do you see how hard I'm pressing? It's indenting into my finger. Don't get this brush. It just hurt me. Ow. Look at it. It stabbed me. Minis are dangerous. Yeah, that's true. Oh. I can't believe it would do that to me. So rude. I recently hurt my hand while painting one. Yeah, some minis can be really sharp. Like this is pretty sharp right here, this thing. Some minis are just like brutal. Oh, and also when you're painting, yeah, you will definitely learn through trial and error. One thing to keep in mind when you're painting, don't keep trying to put paint on the same spot if it hasn't dried yet. If the paint's like really, really wet still, it's okay. But if you're trying to, like I'm doing with these, like I'm trying to get this to be really opaque and not transparent so that you can see the black underneath. If you're doing that and the paint's like partially dry but not fully dry and you put more paint on, you'll probably accidentally end up taking paint off. I call it coffee staining. I don't know if that's what it's actually called, but it's essentially like it will pull some of the paint off and then it's really hard to like smooth it out again. Um Consistency of paint is also fairly important. You don't want it to be too thick, but you don't want it to be too thin either. So like you can see this paint on the tip of my brush. It's staying in the one spot, but it's not super thick. If you water paint down too much, like this, and it looks like liquid and it starts to run really bad, it's probably too watery. There are situations where you would want to do this, but you can see how it's starting to move on my hand there. It's starting to like run. You don't want that when you're painting. You want your paint to be like a thick milk. Sounds disgusting. But you don't want your paint to be too watery, I guess is my point. Ow, that actually really did hurt. Freaking rude. I could talk about painting all day. I mean, I guess that's what I'm here for. Where did my palette go? I put it away. Why did I do that? Yeah, painting is really fun though. That one's not dry yet. This is called a wash, the stuff that I'm putting on this right now. This is just to bring out the details and to kind of, I guess, just bring out the details. It's gonna be too much. Pop you, bubble. Wow. Oh, there's barnacles over here too. Didn't even see those ones. That might dry a little funky, but that's okay. Crab is looking cool. Thank you. I am enjoying painting it. there's like this beetle that I might paint next, and I might actually use some of my color shifts for that one, even though they don't look as good on being brushed on. I think I might use it anyway. Cause why not? Oh, I forgot I watered down that paint like crazy to show it. I was like, wait, why is my paint so watery? Yeah, I think once I get some of the colors on here, it's gonna look even cooler. Because right now, it's just the crab color and then the barnacles, which aren't very colorful. But I'm gonna put like greens and blues and pinks and corals and, yellows. I'm gonna try to pack this thing with colors. Gonna be an under the sea, colorful under the sea crab. As long as it's over black, color shifts still look good. Yeah, they don't look as good, but yes, they will still look good. And I have so many color shifting paints, I might as well use them. See, I just did some coffee staining on that right there. Darn it! That's okay. It's alright. Dang it, I'm trying to. After Gen Con, I need to spend a week just shaking all my paints. Do you need a wet palette? I saw some people say that paints dry quick. I personally use a wet palette. Mine is right here. The goal of a wet palette is to make sure that your paints don't dry up too quickly. One of the reasons why I like Reaper paints is because I don't have to water them down very much at all if I put them in a wet palette. They're kind of like a pretty decent consistency. You don't have to like buy any crazy wet palette though. You can just take a sponge and parchment paper and make your own. But if you want to buy one, I mean, of course, you know, who am I to tell you not to? But yes, a wet palette is helpful for sure. So this is what mine looks like right now. This is like all I've used on my wet palette. I also have a dry palette or a well palette right here. This is called a well palette. It's got a bunch of little wells in it, which is why it's called that. If you water down your paints a good amount, they will stay wet, but you just have to be careful because if you put too much water in your paint starts to separate and it can't really come back together easily, even if it dries. So, again, trial and error are going to be your friend with that. But yes, a wet palette is definitely helpful. I probably have like 6 wet palettes now. I have too many. I started with one and then I got another one and then I had another one that like came with something else, some sort of combo of stuff that I got. And then the exemplar wet palette came out and I really liked that one. Yeah. Another factor to take into consideration is light. So I have a ton of lights on right now. I don't know if you can tell, but if I turn my lights off, this is kind of what I'm looking at. This light's really good. Helps you see easily. What is this artifact you'll craft in? This is a giant crab. Crabzilla. If you're in Arizona in the summer, your paint will dry faster. That as well. If you're in a hot and humid place, or a hot and dry place, your paint's gonna dry faster. It's so funny to me because every time I go to ReaperCon, for some reason, in the convention center, it's so much more humid and it takes the paint forever to dry. I don't know why that is. Because it's Texas. So you would think, you know, it would dry faster because I'm in the Pacific Northwest. But that's not the case for some reason. Man, I have been painting and streaming for a long time compared to how long I usually do. Thanks for chatting, staying and chatting with me, everyone. This is what makes me excited to stream longer, is when I have people consistently chatting with me. So thank you for those that have been commenting and stuff. Appreciated. Lots of people breathing and lots of paint drying. That's goofy. See, I'm putting paint on this. It's not even fully dry yet. But that's okay. I can see where it's still not dry, so I'm just avoiding touching those areas. My stomach is going. I think I'm still hungry. I had dinner. But my tummy is trying to tell me that I didn't. It's lying to me. I'm just looking at this. Shut up. This crab is looking pretty cool. I need to blow dry this really quick, so I'm gonna mute the mic so I don't deafen you folks. Okay. Now I can put wash on this. Vernicle. This is just a brown Brown wash. Washes are different from paints because they're much, much, much thinner. And they're meant to go into the crevices a lot easier instead of sitting on the surface. They're meant to like sink into the deepest parts of the miniature. They are designed that way. They have flow improver in them to make them slip and slide around a little bit more, which is not always a good thing. So you don't really want to water them down too much, because if you water it down, then it's gonna be too watery. Crab. All right, let's get a purple and a pink. I'm gonna get some color. I'm gonna get some other colors here, and we're gonna put some color on this guy real quick, and then we'll probably end because I've been streaming for almost 3 hours, which is insane. Because I don't usually stream for that long. I usually only stream for 2, but I've been having fun. Those ones. Those out of the way. Blue. Okay. That's probably a good amount of paints right there for now. The noise you're hearing is my paint mixer. So basically paints will separate, making them hard to, you know, if you start pouring paint out and it's just liquid, it just looks like clear liquid. It's not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to just look like the paint. So you gotta shake them up. Sometimes you have to use a pin to poke a hole if you have dropper bottle type bottles. But yeah, you gotta make sure you shake your paints up really well pretty much every time before you use them. Alright, let's put some purple. I'm being a little bit more careful. Especially for turbo dork paints, yeah. Yeah, there are some brands of paint that separate really, really easy, which is why, like, I think Army Painter does get a bad rap. I think Army Painter paints are okay. They just have to be shaken up so much that it's like, it's hard. It's hard to shake them up enough to get them to a point where they can go on nicely without staying glossy. That's the one thing about Army Painter paints that I personally noticed. When I would use them, sometimes they would have a really, really like glossy sheen, and that was because the medium wasn't mixed in well enough back into the actual pigment. So, yeah, you gotta make sure you're mixing your paints. And you see this thing happening with my brush here, how it's like fraying. It's because I have treated this brush terribly. This is one of my garbage brushes. I'm using it still because it still works for the most part. But I wouldn't use this for details, which I don't consider what I'm doing right now a detail, technically. What I'm about to do is going to be a detail, and I'm going to switch to a different brush for that. But this is technically still a very large space that I'm putting paint on. So I'm not as concerned about the brush that I'm using, about the fraying, bristles, and all that. Sometimes brushes, especially cheap brushes or brushes that aren't natural hair brushes, because a lot of brushes are natural hair. This is a natural hair brush, but brushes that are synthetic, when you use them, sometimes they'll get a hook on the end. There's not really a way to avoid that with acrylic or non-natural fiber brushes. It just happens. Whoops. Whee. I'm gonna get some of these base colors down. Bubbly. Cyberist orange. I've never used this one before. The hook brushes are great for painting windows and buildings in tight spaces. That's true. You can still use them for stuff. They are still useful. Dang, I am still hungry. I might have to eat like a string cheese or something. I am not usually this hungry. Magnifying headwear glasses for this? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people use those. They're super useful, especially if you're doing like really, really tiny detail work, like eyes or like highlighting faces or stuff like that. They're definitely useful. I personally couldn't make them work for myself. Whenever I would try to use one, I would end up hitting the brush against it, because like I had to hold it so close to my face to even have it not be blurry. It just didn't work for me. But a lot of people use those, so don't take my experience as rule. This is a lot larger of a mini than I usually paint. I usually paint really small minis. So there will likely be a time when I need to use a magnifier. I actually had a magnified light, but again, I couldn't use it. That's cool mini. I guess it wouldn't be as cool. It wouldn't be as cool without that Wiccan page. I'm not a mini than a regular. Fair enough. When I say it's a little bigger than what I'm usually painting is like things that are this size. Comparatively, you can see the difference. So, like, to paint these tiny little teeth, you know? Oh, other way. To paint, like, the eyes and the tiny teeth, you know, that is what you would likely want a magnifier for, so that you can actually, like, really see what you're doing. But yeah, this is, like, the size of the stuff that I would normally paint. This guy is bigger. I just wanted to do this one for funsies. 'Cause it's a crab! Holy wow! Yeah, some of these minis are really minis. Some of them aren't so minis. I think the biggest thing that I've painted was a pretty big demon. He was still to scale, though. Technically. This would be gigantic compared to other creatures. Let me find a human, and I'll show you the comparative scale. Hold on. Well, this isn't a human, this is an axolotl. But, comparatively, if you were to see this giant crab, is a pretty big crab. This, so this mini is it's a monster from a game called Primal the Awakening. Yeah, no thanks, run. Yeah. It is, the board game itself is comparable to, like, Monster Hunter. So if you know anything about Monster Hunter, the video game, they're giant monsters, basically. And so this one, he's got like a... I'm not painting him these colors, but... Oh, other way. But this is the character card for the monster. His name is Carwan. You like Monster Hunter? Yeah, Monster Hunter's pretty cool. I also have the Monster Hunter board game minis, which are over here. Down there. I only completed one of them. This one. It's honestly not, well, it's not my best work, but I did paint it. I forget what the name of this guy is. Should probably zoom out. Whee! Teostra, that's right, Teostra. So I painted this, Teostra. I do still really want to paint the, oh my god, the bubble dragon. What is the bubble dragon's name? I feel like I remember it and then I forget it every, like, 2 seconds. Unless it's Lunestra, you painted it wrong. I don't remember. I think I painted it right. Mizetsune, that's right. Mizetsune. I love, that is my favorite monster, is the Mizetsune. Mizetsune. And I think, I'm pretty sure I have it. I think it's one of those. But I really want to paint it a very specific way, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, so I haven't even tried. I want it to look like the Mizetsune in the game. And in the game, the Mizetsune has like a sheen to it. And I don't know if I can do it. But the scrubbing bubble dragon, yes. When I was playing Monster Hunter, I would wear the full armor set. Which, ironically enough, it's my favorite monster, and so I had to kill it a ton of times to get all of the components to make the set. Sorry, I want your flesh for my armor set. Thank you. It happens. Soapy and slippery, yeah. And that's like the sheen that I want to be able to paint on it, right? Like it kind of has like rainbow bubble sheen. But I don't know how to paint that. So yeah, opals are my favorite. Opals are my favorite. I have opal earrings. I don't know if you can see them. This earring is like falling out of my ear, but opals are my absolute favorite gemstone. So yeah, it is kind of opalescent in a way. Yeah, opal, I've always loved opals so much. Okay. Let's get like one or two other colors on this baby, and then we will call it a night. Um, hmm. There's so much. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what colors I want to paint it. Ah! Green. Let's put some green. Green. I'd eat this guy, no hesitation. We were actually talking about Red Lobster for quite a long time earlier. And I was like, I would destroy a lobster. Technically, this guy's a crab, but you know. Seafood family. Imagine that claw would feed like a dozen people. Funny enough, in one of my D&D campaigns, a long time ago, like years ago, we came across a giant crab, a huge crab, probably like this size, that was covered in coins. And I was like, I'm gonna use heat silver on it. Or heat metal. And I cooked the crab from the outside. Oh, sorry, it's my vortex mixer. It's the thing that mixes the paint for me. So anyway, I used heat metal on the crab and cooked the crab from the outside, and then we ate it. So I've actually done that in D&D before, because for some reason our DM put a giant... Why is this not coming out? There we go. Our DM put a giant crab covered in metal in front of us. And I was just like, well, I can't not eat this thing. So boil it. Crab boil. I feel like that would be everyone's first thought. Be like, oh, you want to take the coins off of the giant crab? Nah, we got enough gold. Let's eat it. Yes. I was just lucky that I had heat metal, because I feel like that's not a spell that people usually take. Was I playing a cleric at the time? What character was I playing? I can't remember. It's very random. I think I was playing a cleric. I was playing a dwarf something. Some sort of spellcaster. I think it was a cleric. I find it way too cruel in normal combat. Yeah, that's true. Be like, oh, you're wearing a suit of armor? Heat metal. Burn your flesh right off. my current character is a paladin, so she doesn't have anything that cruel. Yeah, that's fair. You don't wanna cook people. I mean, unless you do. I'm not here to judge. If they're messing with you. Having a vortex mixer makes it way easier to mix your paints up than actually having to shake them for 15 straight minutes. Do you have a vortex mixer, Clavicus? Is that what you use to shake up all your paints? I know some people do it by hand, but like, that's so much work. My Musu black went dry recently, and I was panicking. Turns out you can just add water. Musu? Musuo? I don't know what that is. Dang, this orange sucks. Oh, it's a very black paint. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Is it like Vanta black or whatever? It's like black that is the same color of the depths of my soul. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I don't have any paints like that. I've seen people use them on minis before, though, and it makes it look insane. It's like if you just paint it that color, you like can't see anything else about it. This is a gargantuan crab. Hello, Argonauts. I use it for places I want to really be in shadow, like under capes. Ah, yeah, 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 that makes sense. That's a good idea. All right, I think I might stop here because I have been sitting in a very weird way for a very long time, and I'm too old for this. Oh, I need to figure out a better way to sit while I'm streaming and painting. Because this ain't working. It's not working. What the heck is that thing? Oh. I don't know what it is, but it looks crazy. Anyway, we got a lot done on this crab today. Heck yeah, let's go. Alright, well, let's find someone to raid. I used to airbrush with it and metallic medium for this crazy starry void effect. Ooh, that actually sounds like it'd be really cool. I wonder how many Krabby Patties you could get. Yeah, Krabby Patties. It's been nice chatting. Thanks for all the tips. No problem. Yeah, I wish you the best of luck painting your first miniatures. I think you're going to enjoy it. Just don't get frustrated. Take it slow. Make sure your paint dries between layers. And you'll be alright. Let's find someone to raid. Let's see who's painting right now. How come it's not letting me sort by those I'm following? It's literally not letting me see. That's crazy. Okay. Hold on. Hold, please. Back to Twitch. Because nobody that I'm following is painting right now. Okay, well, I guess we'll find somebody. I guess we'll find somebody new to raid. Because nobody else that I'm following is streaming right now. What is happening? Where is my dashboard? There we go. Same category. Is anybody painting? Anybody have any suggestions for who to raid into? Because for some reason. For some reason, I'm the only painting streamer on tonight. I don't know what the heck's going on with that. Maybe I'll just end instead of trying to raid. This board game is called Primal the Awakening. It was a Kickstarter. It was a Kickstarter, but I would guess they would sell them normally. I'm not 100% certain. The minis are all really cool though. I would suggest looking into it. Yeah, anyways, thanks everyone for hanging out. I appreciate all the questions and comments and chat. That's what made me stream for over 3 hours. I've not done that in years, like 2 years probably. Primal the Awakening is what it's called. But yeah, I will be around again at some point in time. If you're not already following, throw me a follow, and then you will be informed when I'm streaming. I'm not very consistent. I'm trying to be better about that. But yeah, we'll be back this weekend. Thank you all again for hanging out. I hope you're all staying happy and healthy, and we'll see you next time. Bye!